Hello friends, myself Professor A.S. Mochi, Department of Agricultural Entomology, K. Kewag College of Agriculture, Nasik. Today we are going to learn about the integrated pest management in our course, that is ENTO 232 in a third semester. Okay, here the integrated pest management, it is nothing but the heart of agricultural entomology, because the farmer point of view, the IPM techniques or the IPM methods are very useful to suppress the pest population in field. Okay, let us start our topic. Before starting our chapter or our topic, we should know about the what is the actual meaning of integrated pest management. If you divide this word IPM, I means integration, P means pest, and M means management. It means that in the 1988, the scientist Kogan has described the IPM definition or the IPM meanings. In that, the integration, it means that it is nothing but the harmonious use of multiple methods to control single pest as well as the impact of the multiple pests. It means that integration means it is the combined use of the different methods and techniques of the integrated pest management. The method which may be cultural, physical, mechanical, biological, chemical, or legal, that methods are combinedly used to reduce the pest population or to suppress the pest population. The pest population, it may be single pest population or the multiple pest impact. Okay, it means that it is the integration. Then what is mean by pest? If you see the meaning of the pest or the definition of the pest is anything which may be insects or non-insects, or which may be vertebrate animals or which may be invertebrate animals, or it may be microorganism or pathogen, or it may be weeds that cause a economic ill loss. It means that here if you see, the pest is any organism detrimental to humans, including invertebrates and vertebrates animal, pathogens, and the weeds. It means that these are the different entities or the factors which is responsible for to reduce the yield or economic yield in our field or in the farmers field, that is the pest. Okay, the next is what is mean by management. The management, it is nothing but the set of the decision rules based on the ecological principles and the economic and social consideration. It means that during pest management implementation or during the pest management program, we should remember about the ecological principles. It means that practices or that practice, it should be ecologically safe. Then next is economic consideration. It means that the cost benefit ratio or the cost benefit risk of the farmer should know about that risk. And last one is social consideration. It means that the farmer should have a knowledge about the IPM implementation or the IPM program, or it should be we can say that the it consider in a social or in a society. Hence this IPM, it is a multidisciplinary endeavor. Okay, this is the meaning of the IPM. Then if you see the definition of the IPM is that here we can see in a 1967, the one of the mostly leading institute of our agriculture, that is the FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. That organization had been given the one universally accepted definition in, and the definition is that here you can see the integrated pest management, it is nothing but the pest management system in context of associate environment and population dynamics of the pest species that utilizes all the suitable techniques and methods in as compatible manner as possible and maintain the pest populations at level below those causing economic injury. Here the main objective of the IPM is that to maintain the pest population at level below those causing economic injury. Economic injury level, it means that it is the lowest pest population density of the pest that will cause a economic damage, and the objective of this IPM is that maintain the pest population in agro ecosystem or in our field below the economic injury. Hence, the concept of injury level, it is nothing but the backbone of the integrated pest management. But how we suppress the pest population or the maintain the pest population below economic injury level, we can use a different suitable techniques and methods, but how it as a compatible manner as possible. Okay, then now we will see about the various concepts and principles which includes or which in a implementation of the pest management or in integrated pest management. The first principle is that the understanding the agricultural ecosystem. Agricultural ecosystem, it means that agro ecosystem, and here as we know that the agro ecosystem, it is the unit of integrated pest management. What is meant by agro ecosystem? Agro ecosystem is nothing but the our crop field. Agro ecosystem, it means that it is a largely created and maintained to satisfy human wants or needs. That system called as a agro ecosystem, and in our agro ecosystem the pest management program is will be implemented. Then agroecosystem contains a larger diversity of the animals and the plant species that forest. Okay. Then in our agroecosystem, what happened? Due to the intensively manipulated by the humans and the subject to the sudden alteration, that is the plowing and the treatment with the pesticides. It means that from the green revolution up to the till date, the due to the intensive and extensive cultivation of the land or crop field or agroecosystem, are due to the continuous spraying or excessive use of the insecticide or pesticides, that is which produce a bad impact on the environment, human health, and also which we can say that the resurgence or emergence of the different new pests in our agroecosystem. Then in agroecosystem, it is more susceptible to the pest damage due to these factors like a continuous use of the or excessive use of the pesticides or the intensive and extensive cultivation in agroecosystem, that is responsible for to susceptible to the pest damage. It means that the pest resistance is developed in that particular pest against the that particular insecticides. Then next principle is planning the agroecosystem. Then how we plan the agroecosystem in our crop field or in a that agroecosystem. Applied agroecosystem planning should be anticipate pest problem and ways to avoid them. Why we planning? Because to suppress the pest population or avoid the infestation of the different pests. Here how we can planning? The crop variety should not be grown if it is known to be usually susceptible to the pest attack, thereby intensifying the need for the control activity. It means that how we planning? The use of different resistant varieties in a or that particular crop against that particular pest. So avoid the use of susceptible variety. That is the first planning in agroecosystem. For example, in case of soybean crop, the pubescens type of variety, it is resistant to the potato leaf hoppers, or glabrous type of variety of the soybean, it is susceptible to the potato leaf hopper. Hence here just we will suggest we can use a different resistant varieties. Then in case of cotton crop, the pubescens type of variety resistant to the potato leaf hoppers, that is the Jacids. Then glabrous type of variety resistant susceptible to the potato leaf hopper, that is the planning of the agroecosystem. Then third principle is that the cost benefits risk or or the benefit risk. Then how we have already told you the management, it means that it should have a economic consideration. It means that the farmer should know about the cost benefit risk of the IPM. In a cost benefit risk, the farmer more concerned about the cost benefits, and this cost benefits depends on the decision of like a varies with a crop produce, then methods of the production and the geographical location of the production unit, and this cost benefit, it should be greater than 1, and that in that benefit risk, it provides the means for assessing the relevant economic benefits versus the risk in a pesticide control. The next is tolerance of the pest damage. Here, in definition, we have already seen the we maintain the pest population below the economic injury level. But here there is one concept like a economic threshold level. Before implementation of the IPM program in agro ecosystem, or before or while in a pest management, we should know about the ETL of that particular pest in that particular crop. ETL means the economic threshold level. Here, if you see the definition or meaning of the economic threshold level is that economic threshold level, it is the population density at which control measures should be implemented to prevent and increasing the pest population. It means that all should know about the ETL level of that particular paste, and then we can go for the IPM program. Then next is leaving a paste residue. Here this is the main objective. Another main objective, it means that it is the main basic principles of the IPM. Here the important to leave the permanent paste residue below the economic threshold, and the concept is suppress the paste but not inhalated the paste. It means that here the pest control, it is not the objective, or complete elimination of the pest, it is not the objective of the IPM. That is the only the suppress the pest population. It means that due to the suppress the pest population, here we can leaving the pest residue permanently. Then next is timing of treatments. Here the crucial problem in successful pest management is the proper timing of the insecticide treatment. We should know about the when we spray the chemicals in our fields. When the pest is crosses the ETL level, then we can go for the pesticide sprayings or other methods to the pest control. Then here, based on the need, and the single spray properly timed can often prevent excessive spraying. It means that if the pest require only one spray to complete, it means that to kill the pest, just we do not go for the next spraying. Then here, for example, we can use a pheromone traps or a yellow sticky trap to attract the moth activity or attract the adult activity. Then next one is public understanding and the acceptance. In definition, we have already seen in it should, or the IPM should have a sociological consideration. Sociological consideration, it means that it should know, or the farmer should aware about the IPM implementation, or should the public should be understanding the IPM program, or it should be accept or the IPM program should be accepted by the farmer. In that, educating people about the pest management is the important way to deal with the insect pest problem, and no program is any more successful than the degree of the commitment made by the people involved. Since the main principle is that the public understanding and the acceptance, it is more important during the IPM implementation. These are the all the principles or concepts which is in our IPM program. Then this is the historical events in IPM program. The here if you see the Michael Becker and Bacon in 1952, they coined the term integrated control. Then after that in 1959, Stern et al., or it means that the Stern and the co-workers defined the integrated control. They defined the integrated control as applied pest control which combine the integrated biological and chemical control. It means that the Stern and co-workers said that the how we can suppress the pest population in an integrated control with the help of biological and chemical means. Then GR in 1966 coined the term pest management, and in 1972 there is even a council or institute, that is the Council on Environmental Quality. That council gave the term first time integrated pest management, and which was established under the Act of National Environmental Policy Act in 1972. Then after that, in a near about after 1975, Smith and Addiction were awarded the World Food Prize for pioneer work on implementation of the IPM program. Then this is the NCIPM, National Center for Integrated Pest Management. This is the leading institute in the integrated pest management, and it is situated in 1988 at the Faridabad, or now at the Delhi. Then now These are some of the landmarks in the history of the agricultural insect pest management. In that, there is a first is the era of the traditional approaches. In that approaches, so during the insect pest management, there are the number of uh, some entities had been used to control the pest population in that time. If you see here, the second is ants, biological control to store grain as well as the foliage insect. It means that the ant is also used as a predator against the store grain pest. And then if you see in 1690, the tobacco extract, it is a botanical insecticides. It is used as a plant spray in parts of the Europe to reduce the pest populations. Then in 1762, myna birds from India was important for the control of the locust in Mauritius. These are some of the different landmarks of the history of IPM. Then 1889, the biological control of cottony cushion scales on citrus in the USA by use of the Vedalia beetle. And the Vedalia beetle is nothing but the one of the mostly used predators against the cottony cushion scales. Then in 1898, the coccinellate beetle, the name is Cryptolemus montezeli, that is the Australian ladybird beetle. It is mostly used against the coffee green scale. And nowadays, this Cryptolemus montezeri, it is mostly used against the mealybug. Then if you see the era of pesticides, there are the number of pesticides it had been released from 1939 up to the till date. Here if you see 1939, the insecticidal property of the DDT, it is reported by the Paul Muller, and in that same year the first microbial insecticides also developed, that is the Bacillus thuringiensis. And these are the some of the also the landmarks of the year of the pesticides. And then in a green revolution era, in 1975, Eclair is nothing but the one of the viral biopesticides. The name is a nuclear polyhedrosis viruses. It is effective against the bollworm. That name is Helicoverpa armigera. Hence, the name is HANPV, and also used against the tobacco budworm on a cotton. And same in the year 1975, the first insect growth regulator developed, that is the methoprin in a USA. Okay. Then this is also the revolution era. In 2002, BT cotton approved for the commercial in India. Then in 2005, the first agreement to develop the BT brinjal was signed. And then 2006, BT brinjal approved for the large scale field trials in India. And then now in 2009, BT brinjal for the commercialization on the 14th October in India. Then here the question is, why or what is the need of the integrated pest management in nowadays? If you see here, the first thing is that why we need the integrated pest management or implementation of the IPM techniques in our agro ecosystem. The first need is that it is helps to reduce the, we can say that the pest resistance or insecticide resistance in the insects against the particular insecticides. To avoid this problem, we need a pest management or integrated pest management. For example, organophosphates and synthetic pyrethroids resistance in Helicoverpa armigera, it is found. Then next need is to reduce the pest outbreaks, or why? To avoid the pest outbreaks. For example, the white flies emerge as a major pest when spraying insecticides against the Helicoverpa armigera. Then also, why we need the IPM techniques to reduce the resurgence of the target pest or resurgence of the pest. For example, in case of brown plant hopper of the rice, increase when some organophosphate chemicals are applied. Then when number of the application increases, profit decreases. Then environmental contamination and the reduction in its quality is also impact of the due to the excess spraying of the chemicals. Then killing of the non-target animals, that animal is called as a natural enemies. It means that predator and parasitoids, that is the helpful insects, and humans and animals health hazard. It means that due to the continuous use of the or excess use of the insecticide, that produce a bad impact on the all living organism. Then these are some of the objective of the pest management. The first and most important objective of the pest management is that the complete elimination of the pest is not an objective. What is the objective? Just suppress the pest population or to maintain the pest population at below the economic injury level. To reduce the pest status below economic injury level, it is the first objective. Then to manage insect by not killing them but by preventing feeding, multiplication and the dispersal activity of the insects. Then to use eco-friendly methods which will maintain quality of environment, that is the another objective. Then make a maximum use of the natural mortality factor, apply control measures only when needed. Then to use a component in a sustainable crop production. Then these are the some of the requirement for the successful implementation of the IPM program. In that, the first one is correct identification of the insect pests. The all should know about the which are the different major and minor pests of that particular crop in that particular region. We should know about all the, or we should know about the identification of that particular pest. Second is understanding the life history and behavior of the pest. We should know about how this pest is infest in our field or infest the our field, and how it is feeding, or what is the behavior or life history of that pest. We should know all these things. Then natural enemies and weather factors affecting pest population. Then we should also know about the natural enemies. Natural enemies means are those beneficial insect that is helpful or that feed on a harmful organism or pest, and also know about the weather factor affecting the pest population. It means that we should know about which are the different biotic and abiotic factors which are responsible for the abundance of the pest population or which influence on the pest population in our environment. Then pest surveillance should be known. Then pest forecasting and predicting the pest outbreaks also known about for the IPM program. Then finding out the ETL level. As we told that the ETL level, it means that the economic threshold level should know to the all the farmers. Then here the decision making is most important. Which methods and which at when we spray the chemicals in our field, you should know about that. Then selection of the suitable methods for the control. Then we can select the which method is suitable to suppress the pest population in that area in our crop. Then analysis of the cost benefit risk. The cost benefit risk, it should be greater than 1. Then farmers awareness and participation is also important. Then government support, it is one of the against most important objective of the IPM. Then consumer awareness on use of pesticide free product. Then these are the some of the constraints in implementation of IPM program. In that, the institutional constraint, informational constraint, sociological constraint, economical constraint, and political constraint. That constraint is create the problem during the implementation or for the implementation of the IPM program. Then actually, what is meant by IPM? In definition, as you know, I have told you, in definition we can use a different suitable methods and techniques, but how? In a compatible manner that suppress the pest population. But now the question is, which are the different methods? Here we just say these are the two main methods for the pest control. In that, the first one is the natural control and second one is the applied control. In that natural control, the various biotic and abiotic factor helps to reduce the pest population. But in applied pest control, there are the 5 to 6 methods. In that, the first one is cultural method, mechanical method, physical method, biological method, chemical method, and legal methods. And this method is nothing but this method belongs or comes under the applied pest control, and that method is also known as the tools of IPM. Here these are the different tools or methods of the IPM. It is mostly used in a integrated pest management. These methods or tools we can divide in two parts or two categories. The first one is the preventive methods and second is the curative methods. In that, the host plant resistance, legal control, and cultural control are comes under the preventive controls. And next one is the curative methods. In that, physical methods, mechanical methods, chemical methods, biological methods, and insect growth regulators are comes under the curative methods. Here, preventive methods can be used irrespective of level of the pest incidence, and it can be followed as a routine even if the pest is at low level. Then curative methods have to be followed only when the pest attains the economic threshold level. This is all about the integrated pest management. And this integrated pest management is nothing but the heart of the agricultural entomology. Thank you.